In the next hour, the president travels to Missouri. He's barnstorming on tax reform and perhaps speaking to an audience of one. That will be Democrat Senator Claire McCaskill. Joining us now is Missouri's State Treasurer Eric Schmitt. Now, Senator McCaskill is not going to be there. She's obviously attending to Senate business in D.C. But she's got to be listening to the president's message. Do you think it will sway her in the final vote on the tax cut bill in the Senate?
Boy, I hope she sides with hardworking Missourians. But here in Missouri, we're used to her siding with Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid before them. So it's been a long time since Claire McCaskill sided with hardworking Missourians. But it's an election year, and she's kind of doing her folksy routine, acting like a moderate. We know here in Missouri that's not really who she is. We hope that she'll vote for a tax cut for hardworking folks, but we're prepared to be disappointed.
Okay, hold on a second. You're a Republican, obviously, so a little pejorative about across the aisle. I got that. Let's suppose in the Senate, come the vote, the Republicans have 50 votes. It's there. It's 50 votes. It's at that point that senators like Claire McCaskill could come across the aisle and say, OK, you got the votes you need, I'm adding one. That could happen, couldn't it?
Well, that's not the indication from what we're hearing here in Missouri, how she's sort of posturing. I think she's kind of relying on the old, tired playbook of class warfare, pitting people against one another. And quite frankly, those arguments have kind of jumped the shark. They don't work. People deserve more take-home pay, higher wages, and we're on the cusp of that. Here in Missouri, we did that at a state level. We lowered income taxes for hardworking folks and small businesses, and we're hoping the federal government does the same.
Missouri's doing very well, isn't it? Very low unemployment rate. Is that accurate?
It's a historic low. Yeah, we're doing well. We're seeing more jobs being created. We had kind of a last year in our statewide elections a sweep of a new generation of conservative leadership, and there's an agenda we're moving forward, and a big part of that is lower taxes. We have first tax cuts in 100 years being phased in next year. So it's sort of a new era here in Missouri, and we're hoping that we finally get some relief from the federal tax code. Look, it's been a long time. Mike Tyson was the heavyweight champion of the world, and the A-Team was still a show on television the last time there was broad-based tax relief. And what we know historically, whether it was JFK or Ronald Reagan, you see an expansion in the economy, you see growth, you see more opportunity, and we're hoping that they can get that done in Congress.
Okay, you are Eric Schmitt, not to be confused with the Eric Schmitt Google guy. You are Eric Schmitt, Treasurer of the great state of Missouri. I've got that right, haven't I?
Yes,
sir.
That is correct. Although, yeah, sometimes, not by our bank accounts, we could never be confused.
Will you meet the president today?
Yeah, well, I'll be there and get a chance to visit with him before he gives a speech. And I'd also point out, the president really opened up this agenda in Springfield, Missouri, just a few months ago. So Missouri is kind of front and center in this debate as when the debate opened up, and then now hopefully as it's entering the closing stretch here. So we're proud of that. There's a lot of hardworking folks that deserve more take-home pay. Yeah. He's in St. Charles, which is a growing part of this state. So I think, Missouri is kind of Main Street America, and so it's emblematic, I think, of what's happening right now in Congress.
Missouri's Eric Schmitt. Thanks for joining us, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir.